So Paul Smith, you can see that from Spice Hut, Colwyn Place, Colchester in Essex. Mate, it's in the post. Now, I don't know if you're going to get it, but I pay for postage. I allow for $3.95. It's probably cost $30 to get to the UK. I've got no idea, but that's going in the post, mate. So I wrote this book about a year and a half ago now, and and today I'm going to talk about writing a book and publishing a book, and I'm just going to give some tips because everybody has a book in them, and I wrote this book when I was in a dark space. It took me about 3 years to write, but I kept a journal about the book, and I kept a journal, and when anything happened in my life of great significance, I sort of documented it. And when I got divorced and I was living alone in that 2-bedroom dog box for the first time, I started to put it together, and I wrote about what I'd been through. So I don't want to focus on the content of the book. I just want to focus on actually writing a book, because writing a book for me and becoming an author has really helped my real estate career. Now, I'll just say this, a lot of people at the moment in real estate industry, they're saying they publish books. So what they do is the book's already written for them. So it's like a how to sell or how not to get ripped off if you want to sell your house. And they might write the first page or two, and then the rest is just, it's sort of, cut and copied and pasted onto the book, and then they get a cover with their name on it. So my book's an autobiography. So my view is if you're going to write a book, you need to write it with some real meat in it, and you need to be really, really honest, and you need to write it yourself. So my little blog today is one of how to do that and how to publish it and what it costs. Now, the catalyst for me was I'd been asked to speak on stage with Arnold Schwarzenegger in Brisbane, and I knew there was going to be over 1,000 agents there. So I thought, well, that would be a great place to launch my book. So what I did was I finished my book. Now, here's the thing to writing a book. Most people never finish it because they can't get it perfect. Just finish it. Like, my book's not perfect, and I didn't think I'd sell many copies. In fact, the average author in the world, or what I've Googled, sells, believe it or not, 100 copies of their book. So most people don't make any money from writing a book. So what I did was I picked an audience, I had a timeline, and then I aimed to write the book. I aimed to finish the book, and I put it all together. Now, I had a friend who had a PhD in literature. He helped me organise the book because what he got was just a pile of pages which was a mess, and he sort of put it all together, and I paid him about, I think, $1,500 to do that. Then I went on to, Fiverr, which is a website for $5, or you pay more though. You pay more like $200. They say it's Fiverr, but it should be called $250 or $1,000. And I sent a picture of myself, and I got the internet. A number of graphic designers around the world created my book cover. So I had that done for about $250. So so I spent $2,000 up to now. So I've got all the content. I've got the cover done. I actually sent my book out to a number of publishers, about 10. I heard nothing back. So suffice to say that no one was interested. So what I did was I found a printing company, a publishing company. They're actually from Perth, called Fontaine. And I'm not getting paid to say this. I just want to do an honest view of how to write a book and how to publish it. And I got them to publish 1,000 copies with a hardcover. And the quality is, really, really good, I think. So that cost about $4,800 Australian to have delivered to my work address 1,000 copies. Okay. Then what I started to do, once I'd written my book and nearly finished it, about 3 months prior to getting it published, what I used to do was I would put little snippets, little inserts over social media, so little grabs. So, you know, something like, you know, it was sort of more aggressive, you know, it was like a clickbait, or like a teaser, you know, ad. You know, I bought a boat shortly after the launch of my new independent business and called it franchise fee. So I'd left the franchise group and all the savings I'd made, I'd bought a boat, and the name of my boat was called franchise fee. So a little bit provocative, but you know, it was things like that. So I employed this publishing company. So really for about $5,500, I had 1,000 copies to sell, and I decided to sell my book for $29.95 or $30 plus postage and handling. Now what I did, as I said, 3 months prior to it being released, I did little teaser ads, and I set up a like a little a place you can go to, like an address, and you can buy my book online. I sold 300 copies prior to me even releasing it, which was amazing, okay? Then when I spoke at that event to launch it, I sold 500. I nearly sold out straight away. So, you know, I made about $25,000. So the ROI, the return on investment for me in about 4 months was $20,000, okay? I then ordered another 1,000, which cost about just over 4,000. It was a little bit cheaper, and I've just about sold all of those as well. So for me, it's made me about $60,000 in about 18 months. I didn't expect to make any money from it whatsoever. It's called So You Want to Be a Real Estate Superstar. And it's a great feeling to write a book and to be called an author. I don't promote this enough. Like, I just spoke recently in front of 1,000 agents, and I could have taken my book and promoted it, but I didn't. I always feel a little bit embarrassed about doing that. I feel like I'm sort of scabbing for money, and I know that sounds ridiculous, but people can buy it online at www.onedaywithdaniel.com, how you say it, One Day with Daniel, or just Facebook me. But that's how you write a book. My advice is it doesn't have to be perfect. Just self-publish it yourself, and then create some social media around it. And you know, it's on Amazon. I don't know, I've sold a couple of hundred copies on Amazon, maybe 300 or 400. I think I make about $2 a book on Amazon. But when I sell this myself online, I make about $25 in my own pocket. Of course, you've got to pay tax on that. So my advice is stop talking about it, do it, write your book, publish it, create a platform to launch it, and you know, have fun with it. And be honest, you know, show some meat. There's swearing in my book. I swear my head off. I'd like to think that if people read this that know me would say, yeah, Danny Hayes wrote that book, it was obvious. So that's my my story. So today again, just to finish, so I've got one from the USA. It's going to a guy called V-Man Hang, and this one's going to Queensland. So I post them all over the world. I get orders, you know, a couple of orders a day, sometimes none for a week, then I'll get 20 orders. And you know, it's just good. There's books everywhere, and it's just another source of income for me, which is good. It's good fun.